Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to today's video. Now, what's today's video about? Everything, you name it. I'm going to start off with the defendant, the accused. Subject A. This is my BSA Super 10 bull barrel. Now, I've done a few videos on this. The very first one was before it was even mine, saying how much I loved this gun. Then I got the gun, discovered the accuracy was all over the shop. You very kindly helped me out, pointing out some problems there. So we took it apart, we fixed that issue, we found other issues, we fixed a few of them. And the accuracy was improved greatly. But not to what I would call properly. At 40 metres, I think I was testing this at 30, but even at 40 metres, I would expect this gun to make a ragged hole with a group. I wouldn't expect it to be sending one over there, or one down there, or one up there. I just don't. A PCP with a quality barrel, and BSA are quality barrels, should be putting, if you're shooting in good conditions with a decent scope, all things being equal, it should put every shot through a ragged hole at 40 metres. And that's what I'm after. That's the quest. Now, last time we looked at the barrel, we took it apart, we fixed the shroud touching the bottle there. I have sourced another bottle. I will be getting that at some point. But another area of contention is the magazine. A lot of people said it could be the magazine. It's a little bit hokey. They're not great. It's quite an old thing. The design, there are better designs around now, and it did seem to be the first and seventh shot that were bad. I think, was it first, something like that. But anyway, it was always a certain shot and usually another one that went awry. So I went off in search of a single shot loader, and that's what I've got here now. I've not even opened this little baggie yet. This was delivered to the office in the UK. My wife brought it back with her. I'm not sure if it's 3D printed. It doesn't look like it, because it's, you know, 3D printed stuff's usually quite, I suppose it might be. I expect it is. But there we go. Now, I've got a single shot loader here. This takes the place of the magazine, but instead of it ratcheting around each time, you pull the bolt back, then you can pop a pellet into there, and then that goes back into place. So it should be the same every time, where you get fluctuations with movements in a magazine. I just got a little magnet there. I'm sorry. I'm quite tickled with that. And that feels, it clicks into place. Do you know what I mean? It's not just pushes there. The probe will hold it in place, but that just, you can, oh, I like things like that. Who's this made by? Let's see who this is made by. Now, I'm going to say straight off, I bought this full price. I don't know the guy or company who, oh, it is 3D printed, it says on there. Oh, he makes stuff for RC cars as well. That's good. Who is he? DM3D Designs. DM3D Designs. I'll put a link. He's got a website and an email address. I'll put a link to that down below. Now, I just bought one. He doesn't know that. I doubt if he even knows who I am. Most people don't. So this is going to be an honest review because I paid for it. And that's the way I prefer to do things. It's all very well getting stuff for testing, and I do get stuff for testing. But some people get free stuff. And they get given free stuff to keep. And it's kind of like, I don't know, but you get the impression the more they say they like it, the more free stuff they get given. I'm not going to need any more of these. But this fella here, DM3D-Designs, he does magazines and single loads. Looking at that, there's a number of them on there. I don't know. Have a look. Have a look. But he does radio control car parts as well, so I might have a chat with him in the future if this is good. So what this is, it goes in place of the magazine. So we ratchet the bolt back, pop that into position. That goes in an awful lot easier than the magazine does. So the bolt is open, and that just pops out there. Pops out there into place. Put pellet into place. That is good. That goes there, locks it all in. So yeah, that all works. That's fine and groovy. Let's take him out again, because I'm not just going to do that. That would be what they would expect me to do. Just make that safe. There. I did have a DNT Thermite, the TNC225 Thermite on there, which is the digital day and night laser range finding ballistic calculating with added thermos. Thermos? Thermal. Thermos is something different. Added thermal. I'm taking that off simply because you may remember when I did an comparison video that I said it was the Zulus version 1, what I preferred. I hadn't tried the version 2, and I said, no, I like the version 1. I didn't know it was a version 1, and then the version 2 came along. So now it's the version 1, and this is the version 2. So D&T have, that's what I was looking for, little Torx wrench thing. D&T have kindly sent me their version 2 Zulus to try. Now, I will point out straight away, I have not paid for this, but I do not get to keep this. It is merely on loan until such a time as I say give it back. I've had 4, this is my 4th thing I've had from them now. I've already done the unboxing video on this, where I had a first look at it, and you know, not going to lie, I'm impressed. I do like them. I do. There's no denying that. It works. It's better. When things are better than expected, I always like that. But I do prefer the Zulus to the Thermite. Not only does it look more sleek, it's a little bit lighter, and I feel that the quality of the picture is better. So I'm going to be using the Zulus version 2 for this test. And the reason I'm using a digital scope of any sort for this test is it immediately eliminates the scope being the product, or the reason for inaccuracy. If you have a scope, a glass scope on the gun, there could be a problem with the glass, there could be a problem with the reticle centering, or it could even be parallax error. And parallax is where you've got the crosshairs here, your eye here, and the target there. If the parallax isn't correct when you move your head, try it with your own gun at home, when the parallax isn't correct and you move your head, the crosshairs wander across your target. That is parallax error. With this, it is digital. There is no chance of parallax error, because it's like looking at a TV. It doesn't matter where you are in the room, you see the same picture. So by using any digital scope, you will eliminate parallax error, and you are then testing the accuracy of your gun and your pellets, not the scope. The scope will be correct. The reason I'm using a D&T one is they keep sending me scopes to test. So what they do, I'll use theirs, because you know I've already bought the version 1 of this, so we'll use the version 2 on this. The reason I'm not using the version 1 on this one, FYI, is that scope is on my Reximex Meta Plus, and I've got it dialed in. It is, all the parameters are correct, all the ballistic coefficients are correct, everything is perfect, and all across my garden, any range, I can go tap, tappity tap, bang, hit the target. It works it all out for me. It's cheating. I'm sure these aren't allowed on the target scene. I'm certain they can't be allowed, because it makes it too easy. Not too easy. You still need to be able to get the hold right and your follow through right and all that. So that's the gun, and that's the scope we're going to be using. We're going to be using a single shot loader, but that is not all. Oh no, friends, this is only the beginning of the story, because now we get on to what we all bloody hate. I've just bought an XYZ, what pellet should I use? Oh man. Now, the first time I did pellet testing in this, it was bloody awful, because it was having issues with the bottle. After I fixed the issues with the bottle, all I did was pop some QYS straight from the tin through it. We improved things, but I knew that we weren't going to improve it much more until I had a single shot loader. I prefer single shot loaders. So what we're going to do here is I have 4 pellets. I have my QYS, I have my Diablo Fields, my JSB Exacts, and the wild card Superdomes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Lyman powder scale, a digital scale, which is very, very accurate. I shall use that to weigh every single 8.2 grains. Every single one of these 8.2 grains. 8.3 grains. Now, there's 500 in each tin, so just 2,000, bear with. 8.1 grains. You see, now this is the thing, right? You do get variations. I'm not going to do all 2,000. What I'm going to do off camera, because you don't want to see, I don't want to see me do that. I'd rather get the grandkids to do it, but they ain't got the attention span for that. They'll eat them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, as per the pellet preparation video I did a short while ago, that's where you get very, very anal about things and you visually check every pellet, you weigh every pellet, you clean every pellet, and then you size every pellet. And I believe the size I'm going to use is a 4.51 millimeter, because in my mind, these are all 4.52 and above. Okay, so a pellet sizer has to be smaller than the size of the pellet you're trying to size, first of all. In my mind, 80% of the benefit of sizing a pellet is having them all the same size, regardless of what that size is. Now, we sell an awful lot of these pellet sizes. An awful lot of them go to America, where they do air rifle bench rest shooting. And I'm not taking the mickey. I'm not taking the mickey out of you guys, but geez, you take this seriously. I get emails and photographs from people. Look how much my group has improved. I can't see the difference, but they swear it makes a difference. So each one is going to get sized just like that, so that I'm going to end up with a group from each of these tins that have been weighed, checked visually. I'm not going to bother cleaning them. And then they're going to be sized, and then they're going to be fed through this DM3D/design single shot loader. And we're going to see if all of this makes a blind bit of difference. That's today's challenge, chaps. That's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to get on and do some boring stuff with pellets, and then you'll join me inside the scope and we'll do some shooting. Oh, let's go over to there. 3, 2, 1, we're back in the room. Right, I have got in front of me 25 sized, sorted and weighed pellets. I've got my QYS, JSB Exacts, Air Arms Fields, Superdomes, and also some of the Crossman Premiers in the cardboard box. I have weighed them, made sure all 5 of each are the same weight, and then I've sized them to 4.51 millimeters using one of my sizers. And I'm using my DM3D design single shot loader. I've done a 0, you can see that I've done a 0. The last shot's the one closest to the centre. It's at 30 meters. I don't know what zoom I'm going to use. Am I going to turn the zoom down? What's going to be? I reckon that one there. So we're going to go on 15, or if I can bracket the target, that'd be good. No, I think we'll stick maybe that one, maybe 12.5. We'll stick with that one. So what I'm going to do is 5 shots recorded as a group for each one, but between times I'm going to start off with the QYS because that's what I have been using in this gun, so it is leaded in. In between times I am going to be firing 10 shots through the magazine just to lead the barrel in, but I won't be recording that part, so we'll cut between each group so that you can just see the 5 prepared pellets after the barrel's had 10 shots through to condition it. I hope that makes sense. So I've been using this single shot loader while I'm doing the zeroing. I do like a single shot loader, it just works, it's nice. So I'm going to start off on the top row here. The table's very heavy on top on metal legs, so once it starts wobbling it tends to stay, so I'm just going to be quiet while I take the shots. It's not necessarily where the pellet lands, it's how close they all are together. That's through the same hole. We'll just do 2 shot groups, eh? That one actually went where it's pointed. Shame. This is the 5th shot with the QYS. Oh my god! Did you see that? That's gone across to the target to the right. Right, next pellet. These are actually air arms field. So these are the air arms fields. I think these were weighing at 8.3 grains, the ones I selected. So I've just done my 10 shots over into the backstop. There we go, 5 sized and weighed shots. Not sure where it's gone. Try and get the cant right. There we go, green lights. I'll tell you what, I'm so used to using the magazine for those 10 shots, I didn't put a shot in on that one, so I've only fired 1 pellet. This is a professional channel, as you can tell. Still don't know where the first shot went though, but there's a pellet in it this time, so it should make a mark. Still racking it like there's a magazine. What a wally. Right, this is number 3. Oh, they're going into the one below, I can see that now. Number 4. So they're all down in that target there. Not terribly impressive. Right, I'll just fire off 10 of the next ones, which will be the JSB exacts. Then we'll be back and do 5 measured shots. Now we've got the JSB exacts. I'm going to shoot them at this target here. Now there are lots of people who think that the JSB exacts and the air arms fields are the same, and if they are, they should act the same as the air arms fields I put into this one. But we'll see. If you can hear excessive grumbling from the chickens, that's because I've actually locked them in their run for the moment. I chuck some food in there and then shut the door so they don't wander behind me target, behind the backstop. They're really not impressed. Shut up girls, I'm filming. Right, so these again, weighed, measured, sized, etc. That looks good. I'm going to leave that at the one-shot group. My wife's actually flying back from the UK today. I should have got her to do this bit because seriously she's better than me, but there you go. Completely different to the air arms fields, which this gun, it would appear, doesn't like. Still not terribly impressive though, is it? Maybe I just need to cuddle this gun more. Oh my crikey, did you see that? And there you go, look at that, 5 shots. Damn and blast. Right, next it is the Super Domes. I shall stop recording while I put 10 through the magazine. Here's a thing I didn't expect to see. Or hear, I should say. I've just put my 10 shots with the magazine of the Super Domes through. I was rattling them off quite quickly. And each subsequent shot of the last 4 was noticeably lower in power than the previous one. Somebody has mentioned in previous videos that the regulator on these, people know the regulator on these isn't great. I do want to fit a humour if I can find a way of doing it. But people are saying it needs time between shots. And that certainly is what it appeared to be when I rattled off those 10 shots quite quickly. So I'm just gonna, we'll see what happens with these Super Domes. Also, somebody said it's a 90s gun, so I should really be using it with 90s ammunition. Let's hope they're right, because I really want this to be good. Let's see there. Ever so slowly bringing the cock and handle back. Super Domes were considered so posh when I was young. They were proper pellets. They came in a metal tin. Not those cardboard things the marksmans came in. Right, let's see if I can put them all through that one. No. Being the answer. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. Well, they're all in the white area. I think with the possible exception of the QYS's, that's the best group so far. But the QYS's had, oh mind you know, that QYS, that 5th one, went all the way across to the right, didn't it? So yeah, Super Dome's best so far. Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's who we got next. It's my only hope. Premier boxed, the cardboard box of the best pellets of the 1990s. Let's rattle 10 through the mag and then see what it does on paper. Okay, here we go. I've got 5 shots. I'm going to go into this one here that I was supposed to be shooting with the JSB. No, the Air Arms Fields nail went low, so I'll reuse this one. Let's see if we're in the white this time. 1. 2. It's starting to lead in more to this as well because I fired off a few 0 in. I think these are the ones it likes, which is a shame because I don't know if these are actually still available. A little bit out. This is number 4. And number 5. There we are. Let's go and get the target and have a close look at it. So that's just peculiar. Going back and looking at the other video with this gun where I was using the QYSs after fixing the potential issue with the shroud touching the back, touching the bottle with the QYSs. Now that's 4 shots there, which is centre to centre, 13mm. Still not acceptable, but it's not bad. You would think, well, that's a start, it'll come in from there. But what's that one all about? You saw it. It was no deflection of the gun. So why are the QYS pellets doing that? Then we had the air arms, which are kind of around that area. They just weren't very good. The JSB Exacts were these ones here, I believe. They're all right, but nothing to write home about. The Super Domes are okay, you know, perfectly respectable for a cheap Plenkin pellet. In fact, let's have a little, just have a little measure of that. Because again, a lot of these would tighten up, the groups would tighten up. 22mm would tighten up with more use. But then we got onto the box premiers. And the box premiers, the first group was 10mm there, and then the last one was 12, so that one's slightly bigger. But the box premiers certainly seemed to be very good because I didn't get any flyers. That was actually, that group there is about the size of my thumbnail at 30 meters, which is what I was shooting at. That is acceptable. So I think that my DM3D Designs single shot loader, weighing, sorting and sizing my pellets has improved things. The magazine, I don't know, I will do some testing at some point and fire the same pellets with the magazine and the single shot loader to see if there's what difference there is. I'm sure there will be a difference. I just prefer single shot loaders anyway, so I'm really happy I got that. So it isn't that. It isn't the shroud now because we've got that sorted. It can't be the scope because it's a digital scope. I've tried 5 different types of pellets. I'm going to have to. It's odd that the pellets from the gun's time, from the 1990s, are the ones that performed the best. And I'm just going to have to continue with that. People have said try some heavy pellets. And I'm going to have to. I do have, as you saw in that pellet video, I've got an awful lot of pellets. It's just going to take a long time to do pellet testing with them. And with a PCP, nowadays, I kind of expect every shot to go through the same hole. I expect that. I managed that with my Rexim X Meta, and that was only 500 quid or whatever it was, brand new. Ugly as sin, but accurate. So there we are. What can you tell me? Where can we go? Where do we go from here? Is it down to the lake I fit? I know. If I could get them all like that and then tighten that up, I think that would be good. But it's an obsolete pellet. Or is it? Can you still get the cardboard box premiers? I don't know. I really don't know. That's it for this one for now. We will be continuing in the future with this because this is a project. I want to get this gun as accurate as it can be because I really love the gun. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, hit notifications. Catch me next time when we'll be doing something else shooting related. Until then, goodbye.